Hi friends, Mindy here. Today I have a process video. I will be making a little journal today. I am using this Wild Asparagus kit that is from my mind's eye. I ordered this through Peachy Cheap a while back, and I just decided today that I wanted to create a little journal. So I'm just showing you all of the little pieces and everything that came in the kit. And then I'm trying to decide, I have made lots of journals through my life. I started making journals and stuff probably 6 or 7 years ago. I have big ones and small ones. These are kind of what you would consider to be a traveler's size, not a traveler's size notebook, a passport size. And then this here is a little art journal I made. So just slightly bigger than the passport size and probably closer to about the size that I'm going to make today. So what I'm doing here is pulling out some paper from this kit. This is 6x8 paper, and it's really good quality, really thick cardstock. So it's going to make a really good sturdy journal. But I need to find some papers that have the pattern so that it can be oriented either way, because I'll be folding it along the long edge. So I'm just flipping through the pad here, just kind of seeing, like, I love this striped paper, but the pattern on the back, if I folded it, the pattern would be going the wrong direction. So I can't use it for this particular journal, at least for the papers, the foundation papers that are going to be folded. So I'm just going through and picking out some, just making sure that if I have it oriented the opposite direction, that it's still going to make sense. Most of the patterns are pretty random, so they will go either way. So I have about, I think, 6 sheets or so here that I've pulled out. I'm just gonna look through and decide which one of these is gonna be my cover. I'm showing here most pattern papers, you know, they, especially in a 6x8 pad, will have like an edge, but this one had a cut line, so I had to go through and cut all of that off, the like branding strip. And then I decided to go ahead and use my scoreboard here to go ahead and score them, because again, this paper is really thick, and so this is just going to make creating this book a little bit easier. So I went through and scored everything at the halfway mark, and I'm just folding everything so that I can get an idea for how I want these pages to go together. One of the good things about creating a journal like this from a kit is that everything is going to coordinate, so you don't have to really worry about that too much, but I just don't want all of the like same patterns right next to each other. So I'm flipping through here and deciding which one of these I want as my cover, and I'm picking this light blue one here. I think it's so pretty, and so this is going to be the outside cover of my journal. So now I'm just moving through, and I will decide the order of the pages. So you can see I flipped that one both directions, and I didn't really like either of those next to this pattern, and so I went with another floral kind of next to the stripe, and I'm just gonna kind of work my way through this. And I wanted, you know, different colors next to each other and everything as well. So now I'm gonna be adding this pink, and then I'm just kind of rehearsing different ways of doing this, just making sure that I'm not getting too many of the same types of patterns right next to each other, or things that are too competing with one another. I want them to still be kind of cohesive from page to page. So this is the order that I have decided on here. I love the polka dots, and I love all the different kind of patterns with these really bold florals. I just think it's a really interesting look. So now I need to start getting ready to bind this book together. So I have grabbed a piece. This is just some copy paper, and I'm going to be cutting it down to the same height as my journal so that I can make a template. Ordinarily, when I'm making little books like this, if I'm doing paper that's a little bit thinner, I don't have to do this because I can usually punch through all of the paper at one time, but I'm not going to be able to do that with this paper because it's pretty thick. So I'm just creating a little template so that I can make sure I'm getting all my holes lined up. So I just took this copy paper, folded it in half, and now I'm marking the middle and then like about an inch in from the top and the bottom. Not perfect, and then I'm indicating which of these is the top so that I know to get them all lined up. So I have this little foam punching thing, but I'm also showing here that if you don't have one of those, or like a mouse pad or whatever, you can use an old book, an old phone book, whatever, and you can just open it up to the middle and it will create a gutter for you to kind of punch down in. You can also do it on like a phone book, however you want to do it, but that's just an option. I'm just going to be using this foam. Is actually for punching, so but it's something that I've had for years and years and years. So anyway, I'm just going through and punching all the holes in these pieces of cardstock, and now I can go ahead and sew it together. I am using waxed linen thread today. It's just going to be really sturdy for my book, and I am cutting a length of this thread to be about 3 times the height of my journal. And I like the waxed linen thread, especially on really thick paper like this, because it will slide through just a little bit easier. So just like always with a pamphlet stitch like this, you go through the middle and out to the outside. If you wanted the extra threads hanging on the outside, you could just do it the opposite way, but I'm going from the middle to the outside and then back down to the bottom and then going up through. You can see me kind of struggling because this paper is so thick, but and you leave a tail and then go up to the top and go out to the back and then come back through the middle. I've done this several times on my channel, so trying to just kind of speed through it here. And then with one end of each string on either side of that long piece of thread, you're just going to tie this into a knot, and that will secure everything in place. So you're basically tying the knot around that long thread. And then I kind of trim the edges so that the tails are about the same length as the stitches. It just keeps it nice and neat looking. And now, because we have bound these, and like I said, this paper is really thick, it's creating an issue where they're not lined up on the edge. And you could totally leave it that way. Some people do. I just prefer for that to be even. So I'm going to take a nonstick cutting mat here and my Tim Holtz ruler. The reason I use this ruler, aside from the fact that it's clear, which is really helpful, is it's got a metal edge in one side of it. And so when you're using an X-Acto knife or box cutter or whatever, it's just good to be working up next to a metal edge. So that is why I'm using that. And I'm just going through, taking my time, making several cuts that will just give you the best results. And so now I have everything trimmed up and all my pages are the same size, and I'm going to round the corners. Again, this is an optional thing. I just like the way that that looks better. So I have I think this is a 1/2 inch corner rounder. It's from Sutter. It's really, really old. Use whatever corner punch you have. And then I'm just rounding those corners for a nice cohesive look. And now I'm going to decorate some of these pages so that this journal is essentially ready to go. I don't know what I'm going to be using it for yet, actually. I just felt like creating a journal today. This is just kind of takes me back to kind of where I started with some paper crafting after I started scrapbooking and everything, and I got into some mixed media things and creating junk journals and all that kind of stuff. And this is just one of those things that I love to do. And anyway, I'm showing here on this is the sticker paper, or the cardstock stickers that came with this set. And at the very top and at kind of along the bottom, it's really hard to see in the camera, but there's like a really faint design. So you could definitely save, and I plan to actually save the backing, because I think I can cut little pieces out of it and still use it like for faux washi and that kind of stuff, because it's got a real subtle like text in the background. It's really interesting instead of just being like plain white or whatever. So anyway, I was just going through and flipping through, getting some of these are the journaling cards, trying to find something that I can put on the front of this journal. So flipping through, I want something that's going to stand out but not be really busy, because the background is obviously really busy. And I found this piece that has this floral in the middle, and I wanted to use this sticker. It actually got punched out of the sticker sheet, but that's okay. It's actually a sticker, but it says, "Wherever life plants you, bloom in grace." And I just thought that was a really nice sentiment. So I'm just stuck that in the middle, and I was liked how that looked with the little leaves kind of poking out from behind the circle. And so I just stuck that down, and then I'm gluing that to the cover. And don't be afraid to use journaling cards in kind of different ways other than just a journaling card. Add stickers to them to make them your own, cut them down. There's a lot of things that you can do, especially when you're creating a journal like this, or like a junk type journal where this is just going to hold whatever. I'm not really sure what I'm going to be using it for, quotes or prayers or whatever. So anyway, I have picked another journaling card here that has some lines, and it is complementary to the background paper, and I'm going to create a little tuck spot because, like I said, I don't really know exactly what I'm going to be using this journal for, so I'm going to give myself some options, but having it mostly set up ahead of time is just going to be helpful. So I'm just gluing that down, and then I will off camera go through and decorate the rest of the pages, and I'll come back and do a flip. Okay, so off camera, I got everything decorated. This is the cover. I didn't do anything else to that. This is the tuck spot that I created here. And then some of these just have stickers stuck down. This has a little tuck spot that I used. And I'm looking at this and deciding that it needs a little something. So I just grabbed a sticker from the sticker pack there, and I just added that on there just for a little bit of interest. On this little journaling card on the right here, there was, I think it said goals or something underneath it. And so I just added a sticker over the top because, like I said, I may not use this for goals. I may use it for something else. And so I glued down all of the journaling spots so that they would be either tuck spots or pockets. So they're all open. I can put in a tag or another journaling card. Some of the pages I left blank. I just added a little bit of ephemera. I have plenty of room to journal or to take notes, to include more cards. I have plenty that are left over, so I can definitely add more to this. I have about, I think there were 24 in the pack. I think I have about 12 left. And these are all the sticker sheets. Plenty of stickers still left to decorate with, and then a ton of ephemera still to use. So I have plenty to keep adding to this book. But anyway, if you liked this video, I would appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And until next time, bye-bye.